I wanted to prepare for Shabbos Parashat Mishpatim. The Parsha begins with the story of the Eved Ivri, who is a Jew that stole and didn't have sufficient funds to repay his theft. Therefore, the court sold him and used those funds to repay his victim. The Torah teaches that he works for 6 years and goes free on the 7th year. The question is, why 6 years? Why free on the 7th? The Maharal, using this general principle that 7 represents the physical world is created in 6 days, Sheshes Yamase, and the 7th day is Shabbos. We find 7 throughout creation. There's 7 colors in the rainbow. There's 7 notes in the musical skills. 7 is the number that represents the physical world as we understand it. But let's take a deeper look into what this really means. Everything in the physical world has 6 sides. Those correspond to the 6 days of the week. We all know that what's inside is what really matters. The 7th represents what's inside the body. It's the center of all things and what truly gives it its life. So therefore, when someone steals and he has to do a rectification, it's only to the exterior. It's only to the 6 sides that are revealed to the world. So therefore, he works 1 year for each one of the 6 external sides. However, the 7th, that represents the Jew himself. That's his inside. That's his core. And that, no matter what he does, can never become defiled, and therefore does not need a rectification. So too, it's his inner self, the 7th dimension, can never be subjugated, and that's what really triggers his freedom. But as we understand in numbers, the higher number contains all the numbers under it, meaning in the number 2, there's number 1, and the number 3, there's number 1 and 2. Therefore, in the number 7 really contains the 6 that are inside of it. Number 7 represents the idea that the defining quality of the observable world is its inner meaning. The life force of the body, and it's its hidden true soul. Of course, we see the idea of Shabbos. The Shabbos is what gives the life to the 6 days. And we see the idea in Shemitah, and of course in Yovel, which is just a greater expression of the same idea. Mishpatim represents the end of the Shovavim, 6-week period of time that begins the Shemos that have a special ability to cleanse ourselves of the baser desires that we have, represented by leaving Mitzrayim, which represents the base desires of a person. It's no coincidence that it ends in Mishpatim, which is the parsha of the Eved Ivri. They tell us that only the 6 weeks, the outside external parts need to be fixed, but the 7th does not. And the next week, the 7th week, is Parshas Truma, which begins the creation of the Mishkan and bringing Hashem into our lives, going from the 6 days of the week to the 7th day to the higher level. Now Shabbos approaches the 7th. We are overwhelmed with the joy of reaching, after the 6 days of the week that we put all the effort in to get ready for Shabbos, to finally reach and sow the rewards of our efforts and the higher level that we all aspire to, which is a closer connection to Hashem Yisbarach. Wishing everyone a fabulous Shabbos.